you've just said how emotional the kit handouts are when you're getting the shirt presentations. What was that first Scotland call-up like? And somebody, like, how does it go? Did the coach phone you up himself and be like, I don't know if you know who I am, or you might know who I am, but we want you to be at this place on this day for that Scotland team, that Scotland camp?
So
who wants to go first? Sarah, you go first.
So Rach and I got our call up at the same time. So like our journeys, we've pretty much been like through thick and thin together. We were playing at Lichfield Rugby Club, and our coach was like, "Oh, Scotland's been in touch. They know that you two are Scottish qualified. Like, would you want to go to a camp? Like, we can put you in touch with them." Spoke to Shade, and next thing you know, we're in a camp at the Holiday Inn in Christopher Road in Edinburgh. And me and Rach were
the one by the zoo.
Yeah, the one by the zoo. So keen and nervous that we had breakfast at 6 a.m, got our things ready, came downstairs with our bags good to go, and we were waiting to get a taxi to Murrayfield. Meanwhile, Trace and Debs, like absolute stalwarts of the team, like heroes themselves, came downstairs and were like, "Oh my God, there's Tracy and Deborah." We're like, "Oh, are you like off training? Are you the new girls?" And we're like, "Yeah, we're ready." And they're like, "Oh, we're just going to breakfast." So we got our timing so wrong. Like, we were so keen and on it. Arrived at Murrayfield so bloody early. Felt really silly, but I was actually so pleased that me and Rach went through that journey together. But it was exciting. That was kind of my experience of it.
Rhoda, what was your first call up like?
Yeah, it was like, mine was funny because I played Scotland under 20s. Like, I was probably on like that journey for longer, and then my first like real call up to a camp was Scotland had this 10-day training camp in Spain, which was like the biggest deal in the world because at that point the team didn't have many camps, never mind camps abroad, which I got to go to and got to play against like a Spain training team. And yeah, like I don't think at the time as well, because I was like 18, I must have been, like I didn't really appreciate probably what was like, I guess, what was going on. I think it was yeah, like at the end of that week after I played against Spain, I was like, whoa, like that, yeah, that really happened. And that was with the senior team. And it was from there that I then got to keep coming to camps and eventually got capped. So yeah, like a bit of a different journey, but again, like it means so much to you. And like looking back, it's really cool to compare the sport we get now and where the team is now compared to where the team was at back then.
No. And then, so how was your first shirt presentation when you got that first test start? How many tears were there? Were there tears, or was there just like ecstatic cheering?
I think that one was like ecstatic cheering. Like there was me and Tomo were like, I guess Tomo was equivalent to my Rachel Malcolm in terms of like played under together.
I love that you've all got like a little friend. I don't mean to undervalue it as a little friend. I know Tomo's going to hate me for saying little, but you know what I mean? Like you've got a sort of buddy that everybody's sort of been with. Like you have that one person that you recognise was there at every step.
Yeah. And for me, that would have been like Tomo, like kind of came through it all together. But then actually, I think when I was, it's hard because I was like so young when I first got capped that I think it was all just like exciting. Whereas I feel like as I've got older, I've got like so much more emotional about Scotland. And then honestly, like the two of us are like probably the two worst like at shirt presentation in terms of like crying our eyes out. And once I'd bought her shirt,
this is what I was thinking.
I'd like written a speech, but then I couldn't even say it because I was just crying so much that I just had to like give her this wet shirt that I'd been crying on. But I think as you get older, like, and because when you get older, you like appreciate the sacrifice that you made.
I've seen you lying in dog shit at 5 a.m. Bonds. Yeah. I really want you to have this shirt.
Like I did a Malcolm and dog shit for this, yeah. So yeah, I think I've probably got more emotional as I've got older. What about you, Bonds?
Yeah, I'd agree. Yeah, the first few are like super exciting. You're just buzzing to be there. Not that you aren't buzzing any other time, but I think this team, especially being together for a few seasons now, we are a proper family. And that jersey presentation, I don't know, is just, you've put in the hard work. You just want to do it for each other. And I don't know why it just gets emotional. Like even sometimes like the staff are emotional, but we just want it for each other so much. It's just quite a big moment before the day. Even like on the anthems, I really struggle to hold it together quite often, like shed a tear. And post game, I'm a nightmare for crying. Like, I know that I'll go to Tomo because Tomo will also cry after a game, and we'll just have a cry together, win or lose. I don't know why. I think it just means so much to us all, really.
I think.
Oh, sorry. Carry on.
Oh, sorry, I keep doing this, Sam.
No, it's fine. Like I said, Sean keeps telling me to stop doing it, but Sean's not here, so Sean can edit it out. He'll be fine.
I think the next one will mean a lot for both of us. Like, the bonds is going through all our RAF training, which, like, being her friend during it all, like, it's absolutely incredible what she's been through and what she's still going through, and like how she's balanced it with rugby, and like, yeah, it's been like really inspiring. So I think that one will mean a lot for that reason. And then I've like just had a pretty unlucky like stream of injuries. Like, it's been a year and a half since I've played for Scotland, which is just so like weird to think of when, I don't know, you like dedicate kind of everything you're doing in your life to something. Then if you get a couple injuries and it doesn't happen for a while, you're like, whoa. Like, yeah, I think we're both definitely like itching to get back in a Scotland shirt for sure. Like,
you got some games coming up now. They've been announced. Got some games.
Yeah, we're hoping that'll be next month for us both. SPIP. So we'll see.
Well, I'll be watching. Right, I want to talk to you about camp life. I wasn't originally going to talk about this, but all you guys have mentioned is how much of a family you guys are, and like, how have you managed to instill that bond? Was that something you had in like a team meeting where you were like, I keep saying like Jesus. So when you were as a team, did you have the big team meeting where you were, these are our morals, these are our mottos, this is how we do things, or is it just grown organically?
I'd say it's grown organically. Like, we've definitely had culture meetings and discussions about standards and the way we want to play and present ourselves in terms of professionalism and things like that. But in terms of the bond we've got, that's pretty organic, I'd say, which makes it so special. And we've been through like some unreal highs, but also some like heartbreaking lows together. And I think that just naturally pulls you closer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Like, I think when I was first in the squad, because I think I've done 5 years, Bonner, and you've done 4. We were only like 1 year apart from when we first got involved. But at that time, the squad was relatively new. There was a lot of new faces, and we were having those culture meetings, and we were talking about that a lot. But actually, it feels like something we've not really done in a while, because it's still the same faces that are around. Like, we were all pretty young, first getting capped, and we've all stuck with it, and we all love it, and we've just become so close. So I think it is something that's really like just grown with the squad. And it's really cool that like we know what we stand for without having to talk about it all the time or remind each other, I guess.
No, it does. It looks, the camp life, and then specifically the women's team's camp life looks like the most fun. Because obviously I follow a bunch of you on socials through various accounts, and then I don't think I've ever seen a gym session where you're not having fun, or there's not like a training session where you'll have one person just quietly passing comment about everybody running, and it's just really like nice and heartwarming to see, especially with the rugby where it's so everybody's fighting and everybody's angry all the time, and then you've got you guys that just like, we are having the most fun you can possibly have in a confined space of grass, which is just really, really nice to see.
It definitely does get like a bit spicy at training sometimes. Like, me and Rachel Shankland were on the wing opposite each other today and had like a couple, but then you just end up like at the end of it, you'll just be laughing. Like, it's cool. Like, I think we all really push each other in the right way with that.
I love the thought of you just throwing hands and then giggling.
Oh, honestly, Jenny Maxwell is the sassiest. She's at the centre of all training. We've had
like historically a few tiffs on the pitch, like in training, like just because we're wanting to better each other. And today was a really funny one, although I wasn't the same level, so I could just laugh about it. But I was at the bottom of the ruck, and I don't know why, but in my head I was like, oh, maybe if I like hold the ball up to her, it will like help her, like just speed things up. And it instead she like fumbled it because she wasn't expecting it to be held up. She was like, what are you fucking doing, mate? And then like sped off, and I was like, oh no, I just got sassed by J Max. And then we like laughed about it after, and it's like water under a bridge. But like, we do have fun, but we also do have moments which I think is needed. Like, if it was all roses and like petals and whatever, you kind of don't have those learnings, you do need to have those serious conversations. And if that ends up in a little tiff, then as long as it's sorted off the pitch, then it's fine.
Exactly. Constructive tips make a team better.
Exactly.